So welcome everyone to this first edition of the PITS Online Matchmaking Event Series related to COVID-19. First, I'd like to acknowledge the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation, the traditional custodians of this land, and pay my respects to the elders, both past, present, and future. My name is Alexandra Cohn, and I'm the current chair of PIT, and I'll be coordinating the session today. I'm just going to give you a few words about PIT for those who are attending our events for the first time. So, Professionals in International Trade was founded in 2018 to support, connect, and educate individuals interested in international trade, investments, and international business. So we have more than 400 members nationally, representing over 50 different trade organizations. And to date, we have organized a bit more than 15 events. We also have a learning center on our website with online resources and insightful reports on various sectors and countries. We also aggregate a job board, which we regularly update with opportunities from our members. And finally, we have implemented a new policy department this year to produce content on policy changes related to international trade. About this event series, so we've started it because we noticed that due to the current situation, most of the online events didn't really give a platform to their members to speak up and share their experiences, good or bad, to other members. And it didn't really allow for networking opportunities. So we hope that you will find this event valuable and that you'll be able to make the most out of it. So please don't hesitate to give us also some feedbacks at the end of the session for us to improve the next ones. Now, actually, I have a short pitch to start the session for PIT before I leave the stage to you, as we've also been affected by the situation. We're currently on the look for volunteers. So if there's anyone who's interested to join our marketing or events committee here in Sydney or in Melbourne, or if you know anyone who might be interested, please reach out to me directly or by email via pitsnsw@gmail.com. So thanks a lot for your help in anticipation. And now for the order of the pitches, so I'll just keep the order of registrations. And right now, I don't think we have Adam O'Neill yet attending. So I'll just go to the next one. I don't know if we have Sarah Hay. I don't think she's with us either. So we'll start first with Duco. Duco, I'll just unmute you, and you can start presenting for 2 to 3 minutes.
All right, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yes, great. All right. Hey guys, my name is Duco. I'm the general manager of a company called Haymarket HQ. We're a co-working space / innovation hub where we help lots of companies expand either into Asia or into Australia, depending on where they're from. And we're funded by all levels of government. So I manage this space. And my ask, I guess my pitch today as well, we're running a number of programs, amongst which, and Alex knows this as well, a number of people here know that, a Sydney landing pad program where we try to attract high growth companies into the Australian market. So far, we've attracted around or accepted 30 companies, about 200 companies applied. We accepted about 30 companies of these, and these companies are technology companies, usually with a valuation of about $20 million. And a lot of them are looking to enter the Australian market or looking to set up shop here, but need some help. They need to have access to customers. They need to understand the local climate. Now, I'm here pitching because I'd love to recruit more mentors, people that can help open up doors for these companies. Now, what's in it for you? Because oftentimes, mentor roles are unpaid. What it offers you is to really broaden your network and potentially find a job and work with these companies as they expand into the Australian market. So I think it's quite a timely proposal. To summarize, what am I looking for? Because I'm very conscious of time. We run market entry programs for high growth companies coming into Australia. We are looking for people that have a good network in particular industries, and that are willing to contribute to build out that network and maybe find that next job that they're looking for. We will be launching this again in the next few months as we're turning this into a virtual product now because of the obvious restrictions on travel. So if you're interested, if you work in trade, if you do not work in trade, but maybe you have a network in whatever, it could be medical devices, it could be education, it could be whatever it is, and you think you could add value, be interested in taking up a role as a mentor, please contact me. My name is Duco, D-U-C-O. If you type that in on LinkedIn, there's not a whole lot of them, so you'll find me. Or simply go to sydneylandingpad.com to have a little bit more information. But we'll also be updating that website. And yeah, I think that's about it. So thank you.
Thanks a lot, Duco, and very good pitch. I know your programs have been very valuable for high growth companies, so we'll make sure to share the word about it. So our next presenter is Rena Warmerdam. Rena, it's your turn, please.
Hi, thank you very much. Yes, hi everyone. I'm Rena. I'm the country manager for ACE Australia. ACE is an international administrative services firm. Our headquarters are in Singapore. We also have an office in Tokyo, Zurich, and Melbourne, obviously. What we do is we help businesses with their international expansion. So we help them with, incorporation of the local entity, but also with their ongoing administration. Why I'm a member of PIT and what I would like to pitch here is one of the things that is incredibly important to new people coming to Australia and setting up business here is obviously they don't have their local networks yet. So one of the things we do is we make our networks available to them. They've got usually lots of questions when it comes to legal issues, insurances, they need a local office. So we use our network by making introductions and making it easy to make those first steps in Australia. So I'd like to ask you all, please reach out to me and I'll do the same as well to you, because I always want to expand that network and, have that available to our customers. Obviously also if the other way around, if there's any help necessary in those other countries, Singapore, Japan, Switzerland, we can assist as well. So yeah, love to get in touch with you all.
Thank you, Rena. Is there any specific industry or sectors that you're looking at the moment?
Well, I guess tech industries seem to be the main industries that are currently in our client base. Obviously, with COVID, it's difficult for companies to come now. We do still see some interest, mostly like online-based companies that are still coming. Yeah, a lot of other ones are just eagerly waiting. So although we get a lot of inquiries also from other like architects, specific products that they want to import, a lot of, it's all waiting until the borders open before they actually make that step. So yeah, no, any industries from our end.
Sounds good. So thank you for the presentation, Rena. Our next presenter is Brenda Chen, please.
Hi everyone, can you hear me fine?
Yes.
Okay, so just a quick introduction about myself. I'm originally from Taiwan, study and work across US, China, and now Australia. So for the past 5 years, I've been working in digital marketing and consulting fields with a little bit more focus on the Chinese and Asian market, particularly experience in overall strategic planning and social media marketing. So before this COVID happened, I was working as a full-time marketer for a local fashion brand. But because of the change of the international strategy, but also the COVID situation, I'm currently working as a consultant for them. So for me, with a little bit more time on hand, I'm right now taking on different projects. but also I would love to take this chance to connect with people who's interested in learning more about this China market, or just interested in marketing in general. I think I can share my LinkedIn profile in the chat, and yeah, feel free to send me a message. Thank you.
Sounds good. Thank you, Brenda. And our next presenter is Julie. Julie Massé, please.
Okay. Hi everybody, my name is Julie Macy. I work at the moment for the French Trade Commission, so that's the business wing of the French Embassy here in Australia. I've been living in Australia for about 17 years now, mostly working for Australian government agencies and now the French Embassy, and we're looking at the moment for an intern. So if you know anyone who's interested in joining our team a couple of days a week for the next 2 or 3 months to help us do some market research on specific industries. So the aim of the French Trade Commission, which is called Business France, is to assist French companies into succeeding on export markets. So we're based in Sydney. And I look after a very specific portfolio for the embassy. So I look after the healthcare inquiries and what we call lifestyle, which is fashion, sports and tourism. So that person would be working with me and doing some market research, specifically on the sports industry and the tourism industry. Not only for Australia, but also for Southeast Asia, because as part of my role, I help all the Business France offices around our region to deal with those kind of inquiries, and I'm in charge of the South East Pacific and Oceania inquiries for the sport tourism portfolio. So I invite you to connect with me on LinkedIn. Very easy, just Julie Macy, and you don't have to speak French for the position. Most of our reports are in English, and if you have any questions, just don't hesitate to email me. Thank you.
Thanks for that, Julie. When is the start of the internship?
Very flexible, as soon as possible. Yeah, we've got a computer ready, an office space ready, and obviously you can work from home as well if you wish to.
Sounds good, thank you.
Can I throw in a quick question as well? Is it a paid or a non-paid internship?
Unpaid.
Gotcha,
Yeah.
thanks.
Thank you. So our next speaker is Joel Andarakis.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Hi.
My name is Joel. I just recently graduated from Macquarie University with a Bachelor of International Business and Marketing. I was told by my mentor from the Australian Marketing Institute to join PIT to network with like-minded individuals and to connect with everybody. During coronavirus, it's been okay. I've been fortunate. I've still been employed, working with my uncle. We're actually one of the only individual companies to stay open in our shopping center. Well, what I would like to gain from PIT is just a network of individuals open to graduate and internship roles. And yeah, thank you.
So I think that could be a good match, Joel. You're looking for a short-term internship, or sorry, a short internship, long internship? Anything?
I'm open to anything. I just want to network and see what options there are, but I'm very flexible and I'm available.
Sounds good. Okay, so next, do you have anything that you would like to mention to the other panelists, Joel?
Yeah, I'm just recently graduated. I've got some experience working as a marketing internship. I've got 3 years experience as a sales manager for different companies. Worked overseas in Dubai, moved to Australia to study university. And yeah, I'm just open to anything.
Good, thank you, Joel. So we'll move on to our next speaker, Dia. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly. Dia, Bhavna.
Yes, my
Lalwani.
first name is Bhavna, but my preferred name, or what most people call me, is Dia. Confirming
Welcome.
you can hear me fine? Yeah.
Yes, we can.
Cool. So hi, everybody. My name is Dia Lalwani, and I'm a marketing professional. I have been working in marketing and branding extensively in Southeast Asia. So Thailand, Singapore, Indonesia, Sri Lanka, and once in Italy. I assist with ideation, creative direction, project management. So for example, in my last role at a startup company called Zilingo, for those that do not know, it's a fashion e-commerce, or in other words, a marketplace selling products from multiple fashion brands. I successfully led the creative direction team of 7 to strategize on how the company can enter a new market, which was Indonesia at the time. So it can successfully onboard local customers and local vendors to process their transactions on the platform. And today, 2 years later, after that project, there are millions of users using the platform. A little bit about myself. I'm a creative soul by heart, and I love to travel to expand my horizons, meet new people, and learn new things. And in July 2018, I moved to Australia permanently, as I've always wanted to build a life here. And by the end of November, I will have also completed my master's in marketing at Macquarie University, which is really exciting. Further to this, I'm also currently enrolled in a mentee program at the Australian Marketing Institute and really expanding my exposure. My goal here is to build a powerful networking group and at the same time start my marketing career in Sydney with the intention of contributing to the growth of the company and also at the same time learn and expand my knowledge. So that is me in a nutshell. If you have any questions or if you just want to chat, I can be reached on LinkedIn under Dia Lalwani. I'll also post a link here for you guys so we can connect and chat. Thank you very much.
Sounds good, Dia. Thanks a lot for the presentation. And it seems like you have already a broad experience around international trade and marketing. So thanks for your presentation. I believe next we have Toby. I'm not sure if Toby Kornwasser has arrived. So we'll just move on to the next speakers. I'm just trying to see Dan Wilkinson. I think it's your turn.
That's very nice of you, Alexander. And good afternoon to all. Please forgive my my office at the moment. It's my motor vehicle. Yeah, again, ladies and gentlemen, Dan Wilkinson's my name, and I have a business called Export Market Resource Group. And for the last 20 years as an employee and as a contractor or consultant, I've helped build businesses for Australian companies in foreign markets. This COVID-19 thing has had a terribly bad effect on myself because of my inability to be able to travel. And I'm a firm believer in that it doesn't matter whether you're selling products or services, the people on the other side, they're buying relationships, and that means having to sit down and physically eyeball them, let them eyeball you. So that at the end of the day, they want to marry your organization. I've worked in over 40 different countries from West, North, Central, East Africa, Eastern, Western Europe, the Middle East, the subcontinent region, Eastern Asia, and of course the United States. And I've been fortunate in those places to have built businesses for Australian companies in over 20 different countries. My industry experiences cover pharmaceuticals for animals, construction design. I spent a couple of years living in Dubai, setting up and building or helping build the business for a Sydney and Newcastle based firm of architects. Been involved in beef export to the Middle East and to Asia, particularly China, but also an unusual thing, building a business for live bacteria to prawn farms. My postgraduate qualifications are in marketing, and for what it's worth, I can do the Privyet, Dzień dobry, also Je m'appelle Danielle, or our previous French lady, Guten Abend, Salam Kubi, which is Farsi, Mahaba, Salam Alaikum, Arabic, of course, Habari, Swahili, Namaste, Magandan, upon all of those. I speak bits and pieces of over a dozen different languages. And in saying that, I think it's absolutely vital to be able to speak some words of the country for the company that you're going to see, if only because it helps create breakthrough, if you like, separate yourself from all the other people that may want to be doing business with those people. The reason I'm here, my pitch is simply to try to add value to the other organisations within PIT. Free of charge, I'm sort of semi-retired. I can offer assistance, advice to anyone, mainly in New South Wales, but certainly via Zoom setups in other states as well. In a nutshell, my website is export, as it sounds, plus the letters M for Mike, R for Romeo, G for George.com.au. And finally, not a bad thing to know that I am also accredited with Austrade as a consultant to be able to submit export market development grants to Austrade on behalf of existing or potential exporters. Alexandra, I might have gone over my 3 minutes, but thank you for allowing me that time.
That's all right. Thanks a lot, Ben, for the explanation on what you're looking for. I think it's good that we have all the details that you've mentioned. Don't hesitate to share your website as well on the chat, and we'll make sure to share, with our members as well.
Thank you so much. I'll do that now.
Our next presenter is Dana Dumitriou, please.
Hello everyone, Alexander, PIT, thanks for giving me this opportunity. My name is Dana Dumitriou. I'm an experienced finance executive, well prepared, I would say, for the current and maybe new normal, due to my broad international experience in delivering performance improvement, change and transformation, cost and operations optimization, and systems implementations. Having a business partnership approach and an agile and result-driven and outcome-focused strategy. I'm currently looking to help businesses stabilizing during these uncertain times and prepare them for recovery and growth. I'm bringing to the table international experience from 8 industries across Asia, Pacific, and Europe in manufacturing, construction, property management, aged care, education, IT technology training, and professional services, including legal, HR, labor hire, and recruitment. And I have a really high ability to adapt to any business, culture, or industry. I have a mixed background in both permanent roles and interim contracts in companies across ASX listed level, private equity backed, and small to medium sized entities. And I'm available to assist in 5 major areas in finance. Mainly in general finance management, like I'm able to step from day one and deliver and start improving. On business reporting and analysis, on financial reporting, board packs, business cases, various scenarios, budgets, forecasts, cash flow management, anything. Performance improvement and cost optimization, from financial strategy, resources reallocation, cost reduction, margin improvement, to change management, where I can bring a fresh pair of eyes, and I have the business create its own norms, especially during these crazy times. I can do systems implementation. I can build up customized reporting structures, streamline processes and controls, team restructure, having a look at risk and operations too. And not forget what's more important now during COVID, the culture. Driving towards a culture of leading with people, not people with people, in a COVID working from home environment where there's a customer and employee focused strategy. So to summarize, no job is too big or too small for me. I can tailor my services to suit any business and whatever is required on the complexity and length. I will circulate my details now in the chat box and maybe later with an email, and I look forward to discussing later on in more detail if required. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Dana. Indeed, that's a broad experience, and you're quite flexible in your ask. So I'm sure we'll find some opportunities via the network. Thank you very much. Our next presenter is Martin Skramstad. Please go ahead.
Thank you for that, Alex. Good to see some familiar faces and some non-familiar faces. I'm currently the vice chair of PIT. and I'm also a new strategic partnerships manager with UNICEF Australia. And I'm going to present, since Alex already took care of the PIT perspective, I'll approach it from UNICEF side. And we actually have a few roles on offer right now where we're looking for people. And the three roles we have, it's a digital platform strategist, a supporter experience manager, and community fundraising specialist. And instead of kind of laying out on each of them, I'll just pop the link in the chat box, so you can go and you can check out the three different roles, the requirements, and how to apply if you're interested or you know anyone who's interested. So that's kind of the job opportunities we offer at the moment. I'll also mention that as I'm responsible for looking for new strategic partnerships for UNICEF Australia, if your company or you know anyone who's got a company who'd be interested in partnering with UNICEF, I'll be happy to hear from you and have that conversation. And it's typically global companies based in Australia, or at least companies who have a global reach or global mindset and want to do good. Those are the kind of companies we're typically looking to partner with. And I'd say as well, like I'm happy to be generally connected, do networking. I've been with professionals in international trade for roughly 2.5 years now, also coming from an international business background. So always happy to have a chat. If there's any of my connections I can share or any introductions I can make that would be of value, I'm more than happy to do that. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks a lot, Martin. Are you focusing on any specific sector or industry for the sponsors that you're looking for, or any particular size of companies?
We're generally sector agnostics, so it could be anyone. It kind of, given the circumstances, it would be at the moment companies who are benefiting or are doing pretty well during the COVID crisis. So yeah, a lot of companies kind of within tech, fintech, some online education, retail, and so on would kind of be within the nice sector. But yeah, we're agnostics, and generally given our scope for a partnership, it would be typically the bigger companies. Yeah, both in size, kind of with employees and turnover. Thanks.
Sounds good. Thanks for mentioning it. Sorry.
No worries.
And our next presenter is Kirsten Klein. Please go ahead, Kirsten.
Hi everyone. Can you hear me okay? Does that work? Yeah, perfect. My name is Kirsten Klein. I am part of PIT. I'm a member of the membership committee, but I also work for the Austrian Trade Commission, Advantage Austria. So basically what we do is very similar to the French Trade Commission. So Julie already kind of explained that. We assist in locating Austrian suppliers and business partners. We conduct market research for Austrian companies. We organize trade show participations and other events, although that is very much on hold at the moment, as everyone working in events probably knows. We match Austrian companies with importers, and we provide basic legal, tax, migration advice, and basically anything that companies need that are looking to invest into the markets. Our markets are basically all of Oceania. We work with Australia, New Zealand, and the Pacific Islands. And we were one of the lucky ones in terms of being affected by COVID, because we've seen that there's still very strong interest from Austrian companies coming to Australia, especially in my industry sectors, which are construction and infrastructure. And because of that, we will be hiring a full-time position in September. Most likely, we're still not 100% sure on the exact time frame, but at the moment we're looking for September, which is why if any one of you knows someone who's looking to get into basically working for an international organization, helping other international organizations, please let me know. We also tend to have interns most of the time. So also happy to talk about internships, which then would be unpaid. But generally always happy to have a chat. I'm going to leave a link to my LinkedIn so you can connect with me on that, or you can also just send an email. Our email address is sydney@advantageaustria.org. So yeah, happy to have a chat, basically.
Thanks a lot, Kirsten, for your ask, and it's good to see that you have some opportunities. Do you work across specific sectors yourself, or is it going to be? Sorry, I'm not sure if you mentioned.
Yeah, so I am working for construction infrastructure. The person we're hiring would be semi-focusing on renewable energy, which doesn't necessarily mean that the person has to be really. It would be good if there's like a basic network in Australia within that sector, but if not, like we've had colleagues that basically build that up, and we have our basic connections, so we're happy to build that up with the person that we will be hiring.
Okay, thanks a lot for clarifying.
Is German a requirement, Kirsten?
It's a plus, but not a requirement.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Kirsten. And so our next presenter will be Tim Leah.
Let me just unmute myself. Right, good afternoon. First of all, it's great to be here amongst a really high quality set of people. I feel humbled, and thank you for the opportunity, Alex. My name is Tim Lee. I'm the CEO of Fractonium, and basically we make blockchain development easy for enterprises, especially in emerging markets. And I guess the key thing is that digitization as a result of COVID is coming right into the fore of so many companies. And the whole area of blockchain as a technology is enabling the transition from the Internet of Information to the Internet of Value. And we're very much embedded within that. And as a result of COVID, I mean, we've been working with the largest bank in Myanmar, for example, whereby we're looking at a couple of products linked into one, the fractionalization of gold that that forms part of the investment strategy for banking the unbanked in Myanmar. And also we're looking at the infrastructure to enable the bank to actually have a more robust set of protocols that enable them to see, get a better line of sight of the security that they need to actually create new financial products. I mean, I've spent 20 years in corporate finance with GE Capital, HSBC, and Lloyds Bank. Just to give you, those are a couple of examples. I mean, we're about to launch a precious metal hub that enables people to take small fractional ownership of bars of gold. This is an enterprise play for the bullion space. But, and what we're after is very much, we're interested in talking to those that are connected across Asia, because what we found with the bank in Myanmar, we were over there for 10 days at the end of January, and we trained 200 of their staff how blockchain works and the way in which it could actually help, and developed product training workshops for them, and then created a portfolio of products that is on a roadmap for the next 12 months. But obviously with COVID happening, a lot of things took priority for them. Also, Alex, I don't know if this is an appropriate thing or not. Very, very happy to do a webinar introducing what the blockchain is all about, because it's a technology that is grossly misunderstood, and people immediately think it's cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, and that type of stuff. But if that's appropriate, we're very, very happy to do an introduction to the blockchain as to how it works. I've written a book on the subject, which came out, seems like a lifetime ago now, 3 years ago, called Down the Rabbit Hole. Yeah, so it's very much we get involved in very much trying to help enterprise take on board what the blockchain can do that they need it to do. And I think in emerging markets, this is where the biggest challenges are going to be faced by a lot of emerging markets. In what we're doing in Myanmar, for example, we're sort of coordinating a part of the agricultural sector together to digitize that whole process and create a single source of truth, which then gives the security that the bank needs. And it means that the whole of that market space will get more liquidity, and they can then sell more rice, which is actually going to help Myanmar as a whole. So yeah, that's who we are, and that's what we do. I'll put links into the chat like everybody else, but very, very happy to explore things further. and we may have an internship coming up in the very near future as we're going aggressively into international markets, but it's all going to be digital. So the digital training that we're actually doing is, we're creating all the courses right now. So that's where we are.
Thanks for that, team. I remember when we talked about your book at StartCon a couple of years back. So and it's a very industry sector that you're working in. So hopefully we have a few opportunities via network to work with you, or we might know some people in the network. It was definitely appropriate to suggest for a webinar. We're always on the hunt for new topics that we haven't really approached yet. So we're lucky to have Anna Brent, our head of events, present today. So we will definitely take note of your suggestion and happy to continue the conversation after.
I'll send through a quick note, just with a sort of a typical sort of introduction that we do, because it's the book that I wrote is all in plain English, so it's very much designed for those that are not technical experts. So.
Mm-hmm. Thanks for that, team.
Thanks.
I believe you were our lucky last. We don't have any more attendees, so as we have still a couple of minutes, I just wanted to give this opportunity for any of the participants to ask questions to other attendees. Is there anyone who wanted to ask a question to the other participants or wanted to add more information to their ask?
I'd like to chuck in a quick question for Tim. I was wondering, with your book being published 3 years ago now, is it still very much relevant, everything in there, or has there been a lot of changes to what the situation was when that was published with the technology?
It's a very valid point. Clearly the technology moves ahead very quickly, but when I wrote the book, I was very conscious that the technology was moving very quickly. So it's very much a real sort of simple, easy to read guide about what the blockchain is and where it's come from, how it's being used. Some of the content, understandably, will have been superseded, because obviously I can't predict the future. That's not one of my skills, unfortunately. I don't know if there's anybody on this panel that can help me with that. Maybe you can. But certainly it's, I'm writing a lot of content and I'm speaking at a lot of conferences and have done workshops and masterclasses all around Southeast Asia. So it's very much that there will be an updated version 2 of the book will come out when I can make the time to do it. It's like anything. When you're running a startup, it's you're spending all hours at God's end. But it's a very valid point. But there's regular content that I'm putting out just to keep things fresh. So by all means, go into a LinkedIn profile and you'll see some of the podcasts we've done and live casts and that sort of thing.
Thanks. Definitely will do.
I just have a question for Brenda. So you mentioned you were providing digital marketing advisory. Are you looking at specific type of companies or sectors in Australia to help those companies expand to China?
My current experience is in the fashion industry. So that would be a little bit more of my expertise, but I also help with like other luxury brands, Patek Philippe, for example, in my previous experience, but also sunscreen, Cancer Council, Australia. So it was a bit like across different industries, but general, like it's very similar in terms of like how do you enter Chinese market, which channels to go to, understanding the Chinese shopping behavior and all that.
Okay, yeah. Thanks a lot for mentioning it. I'm sure we have strong connection as well with the Australia-China Business Council, which helps a lot of all the inbound companies coming from China. And so, we'll definitely think about some opportunities to connect in our network. Any other questions for the panelists today before we close the session?
I can just provide a bit of help maybe in terms of those that are looking at mentorships. If you go to Ribbit, I think it's part of Data 61. They have a free service that connects interns to enterprise, and they put them out there on a regular basis. So that's Ribbit, R-I-B-B-I-T, I think. I'll try and find a link and put it into the chat. But I think that's it's a free service that's provided.
Thanks a lot for highlighting, Tim. By the way, Duco, when is the program starting, and when do you need the mentors for?
Yeah, so we're still, usually we only run one program a year. That's changing now because we're turning this into a more virtual program to basically get more skill. There is definitely a demand for this type of service. So we're in the midst of developing it and in chats with several local governments to potentially join in on this initiative as well. So it sort of depends on how those conversations go. I hope to start running one in the next 2 to 3 months, and then we'll probably do this on a near monthly basis, depending on how people are perceiving.
Okay, thanks for for clarifying as well. Hopefully, the timings are still uncertain with with what's happening with COVID. So it's good to know that you're actively looking. Was there any last questions or any last comments that you wanted to highlight? I'll take that as a no. So I'll just wrap up the session. So thank you everyone for your participation today. I really hope that you like the format. And if you find an opportunity via the network or via this session, don't hesitate to share it with us. And if you have any feedbacks around the format or how do you like to have the next sessions, you can share that with us directly as well. So stay tuned for our upcoming events, as we're currently lining up for online events still, but for August and September. And with that, I wish you a very good rest of your day, and I'll speak to you again very soon. Thank you all.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Alex, everyone.
Bye.